I remember Keefe was in court, I guess, saying that his cancer is coming back because of the processed food and so forth.
Yeah, he's he been trying to get to outside health, but once you're in that county jail, if you're not dying, just that sickly, they're not hearing nothing you're talking about. So when you got these cancers going on, it went into remission, right? But now you're in there, you're not eating healthy, you're not, it's coming back. So he's supposed to had a furlough to go to an outside doctor, but it's been months, so. Yeah, and plus, let's be real. You 60 years old, bro, in there for the murder of one of the top 5 famous rappers in the world, and knowing the evidence, majority of the evidence, is because of from what you said.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll stress you the fuck out. You 60.
Yeah.
You're not 20.
Yeah. Yeah. No, look, I remember he talked about having cancer a while back. And at the end of the day, I hope they let him out. Honestly.
Either way it go, you got to fight the case.
I have nothing against Keefe. He came in to do 2 interviews. I paid him for both interviews. And from what I understand, the defense is going to be that he made up all this information for money. And he wasn't even in Las Vegas. And I can't verify that any of the stuff that he said was true. So if they ask me, did I pay him for the interview? Yes, I did. Did you verify everything he said was true? No, I did not.
Well, from my understanding, you read the book.
I read the book. It was all in the book.
And you questioned him based on what he wrote in the book. Now, What's crazy is I did my research because I wanted to see if the book was fiction or nonfiction. How is it rated? It's not rated at all.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we talked about this last time.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just we don't know. And what they're trying, because Foxy Brown was mentioned in the book. In the book. Well, yeah, in the book, and I remember I mentioned this in our interview, and he kind of said he started dancing around the topic a little bit. But what he said was after Orlando got jumped, they met up with Eric Von Zip, and they got the gun, and Foxy was there with him. People were mentioning when they did the math. With Zip, yeah. People are doing the math. Foxy was like 18 years old at the time. So people are kind of wondering why Foxy, an 18-year-old Foxy, is hanging out with a guy who's probably close to 40 years old at the time. So that's a little bit interesting.
Foxy from Harlem? I don't know. Is she?
Foxy's from Brooklyn, I think.
Brooklyn?
Yeah. And I guess they're trying to get Foxy on the stand, to basically corroborate the story, because that'll place...
Zip gave him the gun.
Yeah, and that would place Keefe in Las Vegas. But I seriously, seriously doubt that Foxy's going to cooperate. Knowing what I know about Foxy, I don't see this.
Foxy's not. Because that's just based on what Keefe said.
Right.
And Keefe's not going to press the issue of, yes, you were there. Keefe's sitting there saying he's bullshitting. So, I talked to him. He was en route to you. He stopped at my studio. And this when I was wanting to negotiate Baby Lane's life rights.
Okay.
And he came to see me, said, I'm out here to go do Vlad. And he was with Big Bruce. And he said, he put me with his sister. And he let me know that him and his sister is kind of like, at odds. So she ultimately her, and I didn't know that Baby Lane had like 3 daughters.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
I didn't know that, right? So ultimately, those are the people I would have to sit down and do the business with, between the daughters and the mom for life rights. So, at this time, Keefe D is running around doing what he's doing. I understood his story, but I was thinking it's more value in Orlando. Once they arrested Keefe D, I'm thinking they're going to let him go. He ain't doing it. Once I sat back at 6 months, 9 months, I'm like, shit. This dude is OJ Part 2. And they're televising it.
Yeah.
So this dude is really going on trial for the murder of Tupac, for killing Tupac.
Yeah.
And they're televising it.
Yeah, the whole world will watch it.
The whole world's watching.
Yeah.
And the whole world's watching BMF.
Yeah.
Everybody's watching BMF, and we didn't see that trial.
No.
We just heard stories.
Well, there wasn't a trial. They played out.
Again,
Yeah.
we didn't see that trial. We heard stories.
Yep.
And we're all watching. They left 2005. It's 19 years later. Let's say 17 years have been running the last couple years.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, book's out. Baby Lane, a book had to be written. His story's within that story. This dude really had to go to trial. Might be something here. Those are my thoughts before I sat down with you. That's what it was. I'm doing the math, and I was off because I'm used to California bail being 10%. I was off because I thought it was $75,000.
How much was it?
Nevada's 15%.
Okay, so it's 100.
112.5.
112, yeah.
Right? I didn't realize what it was. So, but they definitely used it, and the whole time they were handling me like I'm on trial, like I'm part of the case. I'm just here to say, yes, I provided the funds. Yes, it's my property. And it was certain questions they were asking me like, well, did somebody send you the money? Let's say I said, you know what? Hey, Vlad, look, brother, I'm down on my luck, right? You know I'm good for it. We done made millions of dollars together, right? I need you to loan me $112,500. It's the exact number. This is what I want to do. Brother, I need a year on it. Give me a year. If it comes back prior to, I'll start getting it back to you. And you say, you know what, Wack? You good for it. We done made some money, and you sent it to me, right? And I took that 112.5 and I sent it to the bail bondsman, right? So what? I can still show a wire, let's just say if this is the case, coming from Vlad to me and me to the bondsman.
Yeah.
So either way it goes, and I was like, what is your angle?
Right, and my money wouldn't be illegal, so who cares?
As long as the trail goes back to everybody that's clean, I was wondering what the angle was. I'm like, well, even if somebody, let's say I was the middle, let's say I borrowed it, whatever I did, as long as it came from a clean source, it wouldn't matter.
So is there a follow-up bail hearing?
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Which is July 5th, 6th, 7th, 9th.
So you expect on the 9th that it'll go through and he'll be let out?
The attorneys are saying they're 100% sure. Something about the 14th Amendment right was violated.
Okay.
The things they were asking shouldn't have had no bearing effect on anything. In fact, you showed the money came from you. You showed the property is your real property. That was all that was supposed to be. And they turned that thing into a, fuck it, I made CNN. Wack100 made CNN. Little old Wack from Pacoima, California made CNN. Now, I hope when I launch Incredible Diapers, me and Nick Cannon in Walmart, on the U.S. side, I hope when all my deals are closed in Africa and the Congo and Nigeria, I hope I can make CNN for that.
Probably not.
Because if I...
Not like this. Positivity does not spread like that.
Yo,
Sorry.
listen, it's crazy. I can make it
is.
for Keefe D because of bail.
You're not going to make it with the
but
diaper.
Incredible Diapers is on Amazon.
Right.
I can't make... CNN, can you guys report that they are, in fact, on Amazon?